Hello.
Good afternoon, Tom. How are you?
I'm very well. Yourself?
Not too bad, thanks. It's an honour and a pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you very much.
And you're doing a whole lot of promo at the moment, I take it.
Yep, busy boys.
And South Africa also gets a look in this time round, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, I've never talked to anyone from South Africa.
Yeah, we speak English. Yeah.
In this professional capacity.
And but congratulations. I think we're in order for the new album, Surrender.
Oh, thanks a lot, man. No, we're really happy with it. It's quite a task to make. It took us a long time to make it, and a very involved process. But I mean, now it's done. We're kind of really proud of it. It's really exciting.
Great, because I mean, with everything that have all the success that has grown with the band, to the point of putting Surrender together. The time that you took to put the album together, did the fact that the focus was stronger, more firmly on you now than say it was on the last album?
I don't know. It's difficult to gauge, really. I mean, difficult to in different places. Last time we put the last album out, say in America, there was like real, because of the whole electronica hype kind of thing. That was, a lot of people were interested in hearing that record and stuff. But I mean, we feel that the position we're in now, we felt that the success of the last record kind of liberated us to some degree. It's good to know that people are listening to what you're doing, kind of thing. It gives you that, rather than, I mean, we see it's quite like giving us freedom to be as adventurous and kind of, courageous kind of thing. It's also the confidence of knowing that people have at least a degree of interest in what you're doing.
True.
And you feel if you've got people's ear, you can really push it out, kind of thing.
And I think also it's been a bit of an educational process for you as well, because to all intents and purposes you created a whole new sound, and people needed to sort of get their heads around it as well, which I think by Surrender they will 100% be there, although the last album I think was just confirmation that you were certainly on the right track.
Yeah, I mean we do see we do see it as like a progression. I think we are evolving in some way. I mean, it's interesting. When we made our first album, that was a very definite. We had this idea, this definite sound that wasn't being made by anyone else, kind of thing. That was very clear, like manifesto of things. And then the next record, like Digger and Hole, was kind of the move on from there, and like just as you say, like reaffirming that kind of sound. But now, we feel this record has kind of pushed it to even kind of further, kind of thing. And it's like the range of emotions and stuff in this record is greater than anything we've kind of tackled before, really. I mean, the last record is a very intense, quite heavy record, and there were elements of that were hinted at, the kind of the last few songs on that album are kind of like the starting point for this record. But we're just pleased in the way it just takes in so much, range of things and stuff, but still sounds cohesive, still makes sense. We're very keen for it to still hang together as an album. We both love the idea of making albums, kind of thing.
Yes, because I think as well with the Chemical Brothers, I think you probably find a lot of pessimists said, well, okay, you've created what you've created, but where do you go from there?
Yeah.
But I think you've answered that in the sense of you've always exposed yourself to every element of music, be it rock, be it pop, and whether you're remixing for someone or just working alongside them, you've never excluded yourself from any area of sort of popular culture.
Yeah, we're just I mean, the bottom line is we're both big music fans, and we get very excited about different things, and also we want them to come out in our music. We these things manifest themselves. It's not like some people, you hear their records and then they have to tell you they're a great fan of I don't know, kind of early blues, whatever, and they might be making I don't know, techno records or something. But generally, if we have a love of a kind of music, it kind of comes out in how we write and stuff, and we try and get those kind of same feelings that we hear in other music into our music.
And I'm sure you're at a point now where you were asking people before to work with you. You probably have them queuing outside your door.
The way that kind of works is that we work in the studio on ideas, like basic song kind of ideas, and as we're working on them, we feel you know, this track could really work with someone singing, you know, and that's basically the bottom line, is that neither me or Ed feel happy with our singing voices, kind of thing. So it's like, you know, it's an interesting way of working, and this album was a bit different. The way we collaborated, it was a lot more letting people kind of into our lives, kind of thing. Because before, it was very much people would come down and you know, do their bit and then go, and we just mess around with it, you know, and that was it. Thank you very much. We'll do the rest. But this was more like, you know, say when Bernard Sumner came into the studio from New Orleans, it was like, you know, we just, you know, we were actually in the studio together for like a period of days, you know, for a week or so, and just really working on it together. And it was like, I think that's come with the confidence of, you know, before it was, we were very, you know, like, oh, we'll do this and whatever, screw you kind of thing. But now it's like, we just feel a lot more confident in letting people into our music. We feel that we've established ourselves to the level that it can take in these other influences and other people, and it won't be kind of overpowered by the collaborations and stuff.
Yes, because that's important, I think.
Yeah, because, I mean, we're very conscious of records when they have collaborators on, that you lose, you know, the essence of what the music is, you know, it just becomes so fragmented and bitty kind of thing. But we feel that our sound is so strong and stuff, and it's kind of established now that it gives us the freedom to try these different things. You know,
but nice. I mean, if you take a track like Out of Control, and is it a case of you call up Bernard Sumner with an idea and say, you know, to the point of him coming into the studio, is there a track? Is there a back? Yeah, is there?
I mean, the way that worked is that was, you know, we had been working on the idea of the song for like, you know, 6 months or something, just, you know, working out the beats and the bass lines and the general kind of feel of it. I mean, it's been through many incarnations. That track used to have like a very prominent kind of almost sitar kind of sounding lead sound kind of thing. We sent him this tape of like a finished kind of instrumental version, and then he, you know, spent a few months working out words and working out guitar parts and stuff at his studio in Manchester, and then he came down to us, and we worked on it together, and we started structuring it together, and he was, you know, he sung his parts, and he played a lot of guitar on it and stuff, and we, you know, we worked together on getting the sound, and then, you know, he went back up to Manchester, and we mixed the track, and we, you know, brought in different elements that we like, but we always come up with a core idea ourselves and then get other people involved kind of thing, because we feel, you know, that's, it takes us a long time to write ideas, and it's, you know, I like it when the person collaborating has had time to listen to the tape and see what, you know, inspires them from the music kind of thing.
Right. And, I mean, would you say that there is sort of a single element or a group of elements that strings the new album together, you know, that gives it its consistency outside of sort of the obvious musicality of the whole?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's difficult. I suppose, I don't know, I mean, you know, in general kind of terms, I think we have a very unique way of using sounds and of the way we approach making music, and just how we put things together. I don't know, it's like, I mean, you know, I always like to feel that, to know, you know, I couldn't imagine anyone else making this record with these kind of, just the way the sounds work together and stuff, and the way that, you know, things that would seem like incompatible or not, you know, would not work together. You know, when we put them together, it kind of works. You know, and that's you know, for us, that's kind of been with us from the start. You know, when we started making records like 7 years ago, we made this track "Song to the Siren," which was on the first album, and it was like we were taking it around to DJs and stuff, and it's like, oh, you know, this will never work. It's too slow. We cannot, you know, can't play this in our sets. We're playing heavy kind of trance music. This won't really fit in. But we were convinced that this music would sound great in that environment. You know, and then a few DJs did start playing it, and you know, we were in clubs and you'd hear the music and it would really work, and you felt kind of in some way vindicated that you'd say, you know, this will work in a nightclub. This will be good. And we feel the same with this record. There's no place for it to exist as of yet. But we make music. We feel, I don't know, we just make music that doesn't exist yet, and we feel like we can hear this music in our head that takes in all these different things, and that's why we make it. That's the impetus to make it, really.
And there also seems to be, and I think it's sort of a big part of your success, is that you, I'm sure the people that you choose to collaborate with, you're not only focusing on, you know, on people from the UK or musicians from the UK. you've dabbled with the States, you've had the Mercury Revs, you've had
yeah. I mean, the thing about the people we work with is that we're huge fans of what they do. We love their music. When me and Ed, driving around or something, or we're going to, that's, listening to Mazzy Star or Mercury Rev records and stuff, and it's music we enjoy. But beyond that, it's also we have an ear of what we think will work with our music, and music that somehow sympathetic to what we do. And, we imagine it. When we approached Hope Sandoval, it was like we'd written this kind of song, and it was just imagine the combination of her voice and this music. It just seemed like heaven to us, and it was like when she came in to sing it was just a beautiful thing. It was like really exciting for us to work with someone like that. It's great.
Now, I mean, there was a time with both Ed and yourself that you were probably doing more or taking on more work than you could really afford to, because to the point that last year you took a back seat and were very selective.
Remixing wise, yeah,
yes,
definitely.
Yes. Now, was that done for any particular reason short of you were sort of killing yourself?
Well, I mean, for us, when we started, we did a lot of remixes, but the reason for that was that we had a lot of ideas, and we didn't have like a record contract that would allow us to put out a lot of, we wanted like put out music kind of every week kind of thing, and the way the record companies are structured, that wasn't really, especially as we were on a small independent label at that time, wasn't really financially viable to do that. But we still had lots of ideas and lots of music we wanted to get out. At that time, like 1994, 95, we felt that we'd hit upon this new sound, and we were DJing a lot. We wanted these records to play, and remixing for us was a brilliant way of getting our music out. It kind of circumvented the whole thing of release schedules and stuff for us. We were doing like say 2 mixes of in like a fortnight and just keep doing them kind of thing. And it was brilliant for us because the records would get pressed up and we were able to play them at the weekend when we were DJing, and it was, we were able to build ourselves kind of a set for us to DJ with, and that was a great thing. It's like a really good way to get out when you have bursting with ideas and stuff. It was a great way to get our music out. But as we got, as we kind of developed kind of thing, and we got more into, say, making albums and stuff and touring and playing live a lot, and it became more difficult to find time to do it. And also, we just became really focused on making this last record, especially. We were in the studio for like 14 months, and I didn't want to have to think about doing anything else. So we really got into being, very involved in making this record, and it was like I really enjoyed it, kind of thing. It was very complicated and a difficult record to make, but it was, engrossing kind of thing. I didn't want the distraction of doing other things, really. That's one of the things where we did the DJ Mix album last year.
Yes.
That's what that came out of, really, of like, we've been working very intensely on our album, and it was like, we wanted to do something which we could conceive and actually do like in a space of like a week or so, and we just did that, and it was like a nice release, got us out of the studio, and just we taped one of our kind of DJ sessions, and it was like that was something you could visualize and then actually achieve in a short space of time, whereas you were working on this album that was spiraling out of control kind of thing. And you had you couldn't conceptualize a finished thing at the time, but that was easy. You just did it and it was done, and it was like, oh yeah, that's how you make records again. It was like that kind of thing.
Sort of gets the focus back. But
it was good, But as for for remixing, it was just we were coming up with lots of ideas, and I think if we're doing lots of other mixes and stuff, I'm sure there'd be ideas that would come up. We think, I wouldn't mind that to be on our record, really. And then that's a dangerous thing to get into when you're remixing, because it's like you want to try and make the best piece of music possible, but if you keep thinking, I wouldn't mind that idea for myself, it's like it's dangerous ground, really.
And by comparison to doing the remixing to the point of doing your own stuff, do you love them equally, or do you have a preference?
I like doing remixes. It's an interesting thing, especially with like the bands who've done recently, like Spiritualize and Mercury Rev. They can hear the kind of love put into making their records, and the sounds. When you get the master tapes from Spiritualize, and there's like 48 tracks of beautiful orchestras and amazing guitar sound and stuff, and loads of layers of things. It's really interesting to kind of excavate your way through what goes into making the record. But the sense of achievement of making your own music and your own album, you know, it's far for me outweighs that. You know, it's like, you know, like we both love the idea of album making. We're quite, you know, love the idea of making like an hour of music that just kind of exists on its own little world, and that's, you know, really, you know, into achieving that. And for me, that's the greatest kind of pleasure is making a record like that, really.
And I think also, which is commendable with you guys, is that your social responsibility, for lack of a better word. I mean, you've just played a show. Was it in London for the Kosovo refugees?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's like it's something that we can do. You know, it's not a big. You're not saying it's going to, you know, really change the world or anything, but it's just something. If you're I don't know, if you're a baker or something, and someone said, "Oh, would you mind spending, you know, like a couple of hours after work to bake some bread to send to Kosovo?" You think, "Oh yeah, it's not a lot of skin off my nose." And it's like the same for, you know, if we're DJing, it's like something we enjoy doing, and if it can help other people, then it's cool. You know, it's not.
Sure. I mean, because you did it with the Help album as well. So
yeah, and the thing I mean, it's something we enjoy doing. You know, and it's like if that can be put to kind of good thing, then it's cool. You know, and we've done homeless, you know, where we DJed in London and stuff, and we just given our fee to, you know, to like a homeless charity, and it's like, you know, it's, you know, not you know, on some mad charity crusade, but I mean, if it's just small things that you can do that don't, you know, that it's not a problem for you, then you may as well, you know,
do it,
just as a part of
certainly commendable
being a person, isn't it?
Yes, I think so, and I think that also says a lot about who you are. But to the point that you've now finished the album, you're going to go touring all over the show, and because you've got quite a hectic schedule, I think, for the balance of the year, haven't you?
Sorry, I missed that last bit.
So you have quite a hectic touring schedule.
Yeah, it's a grueling schedule, definitely. I mean, but yeah, I mean, looking at the, you know, like kind of booked up to whatever February 2000 kind of thing. But I mean, you know, it's exciting. We feel like we've made a record. We want to play it to people. It's like doing the press and stuff. We you know, feel probably the record needs explaining as opposed to the other records, which are very, you know, it was just very forthright and kind of there kind of thing. We feel this record is quite, you know, if people kind of get into it, they get a lot from it kind of thing, and we, you know, we don't mind talking about it. It's good.
Great.
And, you know, very excited about playing it to people, and when we play live, we like that idea of creating the right environment to hear the music kind of thing.
Sure. And I think there's certainly a commitment to try and get you guys down to South Africa at some point as well.
Yeah, I mean, I know friends and stuff have gone to DJ down there, and so it's like quite a big kind of scene, isn't there? I mean,
there is, and I mean, just, you know, I think with the Chemical Brothers as well, you are seen as a band as much as you are seen as a group of remixers. So
yeah, I mean, we like I mean, that's what we are. We see ourselves firstly as like musicians and a band, but we do the other stuff. All the way we make music is influenced by, you know, like DJing is influenced how we make music, and they all kind of interlock kind of thing. But yeah, for us, you know, when we're playing live, that's when we're making records. That's kind of where we exist, really. We feel
right.
That'd be good.
Could I ask you one last favour, if I may, Tom?
Yeah.
I know your time is at a premium. 5FM is our national broadcaster, pop station here in South Africa. Could I ask you to perhaps do 2 or 3 IDs for me very quickly?
Yeah, sure. 5FM.
5FM, yeah, as in the number 5.
Yeah.
You can basically play with it as you will. I think what we can do is there's basically 3. There's a show called The Net on 5FM. So you could maybe just say, you know, hi, this is Tom from the Chemical Brothers, and you're listening to The Net on 5FM.
Okay, we'll do that one. Hi, this is Tom from the Chemical Brothers, and you're listening to The Net on 5FM.
Okay, thank you. The next one is also for 5FM, but it'll be for Derek the Bandit. And he's actually a keen supporter, and he does a lot of stuff with Kiss FM actually in London.
All right.
Yeah, so away you go.
Okay, this is Tom from the Chemical Brothers, and you're listening to Derek the Bandit on 5FM.
Brilliant. Okay.
Okay, man.
And I think maybe if we can just slip in a generic, just say, hi, this is Tom from the Chemical Brothers. And you are, you're listening to our new album.
Okay. Hi, this is Tom from the Chemical Brothers, and you're listening to our new record on 5FM.
Superb. Thank you very
Cool.
much.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, and
Okay, bye.
good luck with it. Cheers.